like a romantic colourway, if that makes sense. Just like calm and just, that's lovely. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. I talk some absolute rubbish sometimes. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelly, also known as RowRow and Kades, and this podcast is all about what I've been knitting and designing over the last 2 weeks. Welcome, this is episode 65. I've only done that 3 times this morning. Okay, so lots to tell you, mostly socks, but there is something else as well. There's my shawl. But we'll crack on. I've got a finished object. Did I say welcome? I did say welcome, didn't I? If I didn't, welcome. It's nice to have you here with me. Right, so first finished object is my Cumulus socks. I've done them. I've had one knitted for ages and I needed to do the other one. This is a pattern by me that is getting released next Friday. Today is Thursday oh, here we go. Where's July on there? So this is Thursday the 18th, and they're getting released on Friday the 26th. I think that is really hard. I've got to go across and down. It's a bit hard for my eyes to like figure that out. Anyway, Friday the 26th. So they'll be out a couple of days after you see this podcast. Well, that completely depends on when you watch this podcast. But if you watch it on the day of release, it comes out next Friday. Wow. These are the Cumulus socks. Named by lovely Jules, who is a viewer and a patron. And because I reminded her of fluffy clouds. So they are a cuff down, heel flap and gusset malarkey with a rounded toe. Yeah, and I have done 2. As you do if you have 2 feet. I don't know where my brain is. I'm sorry. I have knitted these in Cookston Crafts. I won't pull that out of there. Cookston Crafts, her, how do we say it again? Hygge colourway. Hygge. Hygge. That's what it is in my head. It is a stunning, really pale blue and creams, and there is occasional splashes of orange in there. Can you focus? That one, yeah. Like rust. Is that focusing? Does it make? But there is, honestly, splashes of rust in there. Oh, you might be able to see better on the foot. Look. There, so you can just see the little splashes of rust. It is a stunning colourway. It is really like a romantic colourway, if that makes sense. Just like calm and just, that's lovely. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. I talk some absolute rubbish sometimes. So I've knitted it in that. It's beautiful. I have got they are like a mid-calf length sock, and I've literally still got 50 grams left. I weighed it because I was like, that's loads left. And it is, it's half the ball. So, yeah. I will be knitting another pair of socks in what's left. They have just finished in testing. I need to do the official photos for them still. And then, yeah, they'll be released in a couple of weeks. My patrons will decide on which photo is going to be the main one. So if you are a patron, get your choosing head on. You'll be doing that in a couple of days. If you are not a patron, you will know that that picture is has been chosen by patrons when you see it. I don't think there's much else I can tell you. It's quite a simple pattern. It's quite easy to get into your head eventually. It did take me a little bit. On the first one, I couldn't actually get it into my head. I don't know whether it was just where I was in my headspace. And then when people were testing them, they were saying to me, oh, it's a really easy pattern to remember. And I was like, is it? But then when I did the second one, it went straight in my head and I had no issue. So I think the first one was just a brain mash problem, more than likely. So yeah, and it's pretty straightforward. You only need to know knit two together, slip slip knit and yarn over to accomplish. Obviously knitting and purling, they obviously help too. But yeah, they are the Cumulus socks, so they'll be coming out very soon. I don't think there's much else I can tell you about them. They're knitted on 2.25mm needle, which is a US 1. Yeah. That's it. They'll be out soon. A week tomorrow. Right, so that's those. I also have, oh well, so if you saw my video last week, if you saw my last podcast video, I mentioned that the socks that I'd knitted for Terry were too short in the leg. Terry's my partner. Too short in the leg, and I wanted to extend the leg, but they were cuff down vanilla socks. And instead of just pulling them out and re-knitting the sock, I decided to do some sock surgery, and then I did a video for that last week to show other people how to do sock surgery. Just in case you're like me and you were like, I'm not knitting a whole sock again, like a whole pair of socks again, just to stick a bit of length on these. So I did sock surgery. Like somebody did write in the comments, I'd rather just knit a sock. That's fine, you crack on. This is purely for people who would rather not just knit a sock. So I have done them. This is the one that you saw, well, if you watched the video. This is the one that is fixed in the video that was released last week. My brain is just mush today and I apologise. So this one is actually pretty good. You can't see the join. You can feel it around there very slightly now. The actual joining of the end is a little bit lumpy, but in my defence, I'd never done this before and I kind of was learning on the go. I did one first and then I did the second one for the tutorial video, and even when I did the second one I learned a little bit more. I think in the video I say like that you should put a removable stitch marker on two of the stitches as you go around to pick them back up again, and I wish I'd done that. Like there was little things that I wish I'd done, but these are much longer now and he's a lot happier. However, the first one that I did, which looks all right on this side, actually went really badly wrong, and it's got like a big lumpy section here, and then as you can see there's a little dude sitting there, which I discovered after that I had missed completely. So this one is going to be pulled apart and redone, which is not something I'm excited. It's not an exciting prospect whatsoever, and I have been putting it off, but it's dangling on this needle to keep that safe, and yeah, I need to get on and do that. So I'll be pulling this one apart. I'm not filming it, I'm just going to get on with it and get it done, but I'll be pulling it apart and redoing this one and using all the tips that I learned from both of them to get a really good sock surgery. But they are pretty much done, it's just that this one needs to be redone. I did actually film when I did this one because it was such a disaster. So I did film it, and I might edit that and give it to the Patreons to watch, so they can have a giggle at what a mess I made. But yeah, I will be getting on with that as soon as. I'm just going to fasten that needle up. If you can hear like just noise in the background like that, it's my kitten. He's playing with a cardboard box at the minute. So that is those. I'm just going to have a little drink. The next thing I've been working on is another sock that is going to be coming out very soon, which is the Daedalus 4-ply. So I have Daedalus DK socks. That is a free pattern that is already out. It came out a couple of months ago. You get a cuff down version and a taupe version in the pattern, but it is DK. So this is going to be the 4-ply version. I have already done the taupe version, that is complete, and I only have the one of the cuff down. So I've been working on my second one. I've got to the heel flap, but the gusset on the cuff down version is a little bit tricky because you have to stay in pattern. And it's, I mean, it's not like, it's obviously not undoable because I've done it and all the testers have done it too. Well, most of the testers have done it too. Some of them had a little bit of a struggle. So I decided that I would do a tutorial for this gusset section, just so if you've got the pattern, you can go to that and just make sure you're doing it right. Just like a helping hand. It's written out in the pattern and it is in the DK version as well. And it does make sense, but just like a bit of a helping hand, like a visual. I think some people work better through visual rather than just words. Like I work better with visual sometimes rather than words. Where are you going? I don't want him to jump at my legs because I've got a skirt on and claws in my skin, basically. Anyway, so I've done the heel flap and I've stopped there because I'm going to film from where you pick up, because you've got to continue your instep, and yeah, just to make things a little bit easier, I will film from there. So I'm going to be filming that tomorrow, I think, but just in time for the pattern to come out. The pattern will be out in August. Hello, don't jump at my legs. Oh. Kittens are scary, you know. They are quite scary. It's like having a wild creature in your house that just attacks you for no reason. Without malice. No malice, just, can I get up there please? He did it last night. He swung off. I had leggings on and I have an actual paw print in my leg. I'll show you, I'll take a photo and show you, and I'll put it up on the screen, because I have an actual like 4-claw in my leg where he like grabbed last night like that and then just hung there, and I was like, no, please don't do that. So yes, Daedalus, where was I? Daedalus will be out in August. So they are a cuff, I've put it away and I haven't finished talking about them. I'm sorry. So you will get a taupe version, which I'll show you when they get released, because they're away somewhere. This is the cuff down version. It is a mosaic pattern, so there is no colour work, slipping stitches, any of that malarkey. You work one colour at a time, each row, so each round. I hate my brain so much these days. Come on, we've got this. Each round is one colour, and that lasted long. The pattern is what's it called? The pattern is achieved by slipping stitches. So you get this like maze type effect by just slipping. So like this row, you would knit in the beige and then you would slip the blue stitch there, knit across, slip the blue stitch. So you achieve this zigzaggy maze type pattern. Daedalus was the apparent creator of the maze. It's not official. It's like a mythology thing. But apparently he created the maze, the labyrinth. Hence the name Daedalus. Yeah. So they're pretty nifty. They're not uncomfortable on the foot because it's not, you've got no floats. So did I just show you the inside? I don't know if I did. But it's just, yeah, they're not uncomfortable. You get like a zigzagging, but it just feels smooth like any other knitting. Just feels like knitting. There you go. That's my explanation. And also, every time I say the word smooth, I get Robert Downey Jr. going, smooth, in my head. Every time. Anybody else? I think it's like a 90s thing. I think, in my head, I think it's from a film called Only You, which is Robert Downey Jr. and Marissa Tomei, and it was one of my favourite films when I was like a teen. I loved Robert Downey Jr. Not so much now, but I did. I loved Robert Downey Jr. And I watched that film lots of times, and I'm pretty sure that's where it's from. I get that in my head. Smooth. My brain will not work to explain a sock, but you know, a film from wherever. Yeah, I'll tell you that one. Right, new cast on. So, Yarndale last year, oh I'm stuck. Yarndale last, oh that's not good. Oh no, I can get out. Yarndale last year. I bought a gift ball from Rosie's Moments. So a gift ball, they come in a little bag. They're already balled up. And they are full of gifts. You can see one poking out here. Focus. And you can just feel lots of lumps and bumps in there and all sorts of wonderment. And I got the spring colourway. So it tells you there where it is. So gift a ball, a skein of yarn filled with gifts. 425 metres, 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon, $18.99, which is an absolute bargain because honestly, like if you're not in the UK, $18.99 is pretty much the price of a skein. Most of them are about £20 now, just on its own. The cat is wandering around my legs and he's freaking me out. Just on its own without all these goodies inside. So like $18.99 is just fantastic. And if I go, I'm going to Yarndale this year, and if Rosie's Moments are there and they've got any more, I am getting one. Just saying. Anyway, as long as they've got a nice colourway, because they didn't have a lot of colourways last time, and this was the only one that was in my taste. My friend wanted one, but they didn't have any in her taste. So, oh, what are you doing? Can you just either sit on my knee or go away? Because you're really freaking me out. Dax, do you want to sit up here? Say hello. Say hello. What's this? Yeah? Hello. Oh, what's going on out there? It's an aeroplane. Right, do you want to sit on my knee? And chill? Yeah? Good boy. So, I got this from Yarndale. I'm sorry, I'm so distracted today. I do apologise. I'm just gonna, my camera was about to go off as well, just to make everything more distracted. Right, I'm covered in hair. I'm so sorry. Right. So, I got this from Yarndale and I wanted to cast on with it straight away, but I was doing other things, couldn't. And then I put it away in my stash and forgot. And then a couple of days ago, or maybe last week, Suzanne, my lovely friend Suzanne, had messaged me and we were just having a chat and she said, have you used your gifter ball yet? She said, I've used mine and I had so many things in, and I was like, oh, my gifter ball. So I dug it out and I was like, I need to figure out what I'm gonna knit and just use it. I just want to use it. So I decided I was going to knit a pair of socks because I didn't really want to start on another shawl. I've got a shawl on the needles, I've got another one planned, I've got one waiting for some tassels sticking on it. Like, I've got enough shawls. And I don't wear them very often. So it kind of makes it a bit like you're just knitting it for the sake of knitting it. Which is very true. So I thought, I'm not going to do another shawl with it. I need to do something else. So I wanted to do some socks. Now, my first ever sock pattern that I designed was the Arrowroot socks, and I designed them when I didn't really know, this is total truth now, I didn't really know much about sock yarn and anything like that. I knew how to knit socks, but I didn't really know that you needed like certain yarns and stuff for them to actually last. So I designed those socks and they're actually knitted in alpaca. And I washed mine and they shrunk. They wouldn't have fitted baby by the time I'd finished. Like, they shrunk. So I don't actually have a pair of Arrowroot socks, which was my first design. So I thought, you know what? I've got every other design that I've ever done, but I don't have Arrowroot. So I think I'm going to knit a pair of Arrowroot socks. And then when I looked at the pattern last night and started working on it, I was like, this is a bit rubbish. So I'm going to actually rewrite the pattern as well while I'm going, and fix it, because it's old and yeah, it needs fixing. Anyway, there's nothing wrong in the pattern. It's correct. It's just it's on 2.5mm needles and I don't really understand why, so I've took it off that and put it on my usual 2.25 and it seems to be doing fine. If they're tight, then I'll switch it back to 2.5mm, so we're talking a US 1 or a US 1.5. It's also got a different size needle for the cuff, and I don't like, that's from my hat days. The pattern doesn't line up the way I would like it to line up from the cuff, and so I've flipped that a little bit. So like just a couple of little tweaks. So if you've got the pattern, please, and you want to knit it, just go ahead and knit it. Please don't think that I'm gonna like overhaul it, but I am gonna do a few little tweaks just to tidy it up a bit and just to make it a bit more as to how I write sock patterns now. I've learned a lot more since I wrote that pattern. Anyway, I digress. So this is Arrowroot with my spring colourway from Rosie's Moments. Which I love. It doesn't even have a twisted rib, and I like a twisted rib on a sock. Do you know what I mean? So I've put a twisted rib on. Just little things, little tweaks. Anyway, I thought I will let you know every time I get a stitch marker, not on here, like in a separate video. I'm doing a little video, but I did that much last night and I got one stitch marker pop out. I'm also using this. I'm knitting it in this so I hear them drop, so they're not bouncing around all over the floor, because that would be a disaster. I have Kades. This was my first one that dropped out, which is a little Santa hat on a lobster clasp. Cute! So yeah, I'm chuffed. I'm excited, and I know I'm obviously not going to use the entire I know I'm not going to use the entire ball on one pair of socks, but I think what I might do, since I'm going to be fixing the pattern anyway, I'll finish the cuff down and then I'll do a toe-up version and rewrite the pattern for toe-up, even though the arrows are going to point a different way. But who cares? Anyway, last night while I was knitting them, my kitten started to chew on my string of hearts plant that's in the front room. He was like eating it. So I was trying to get him to stop it, and he wouldn't. I was knitting. So I have a little spray bottle, which I find teaches cats quite well to stop them from doing things. Just give them a quick squirt, and then they tend not to go back to that thing, at least for a while. If they go back again, you give them another quick squirt, and then they probably don't go back again. It's a good little tool. Doesn't hurt them. They just go, oh, don't like that. And that's it. I knelt forward to spray him because I needed to be fast, and I knelt on my needles. Look what I did. I'm finding them particularly difficult to knit with. It's not ideal, is it? I'm going to see if Terry can bend them back for me. Oh, they're my Knit Pros, and I do like these. Yeah, it's not ideal. I will try and bend them back. I'll get Terry to bend them back. So yes, that is my newest project. I picked the needles to match the yarn as well, and I've bent them. But yeah, that's my newest project, is my Arrowroot socks in the spring colourway by Rosie's Moments, and dropping goodies as I go. I'm excited. Right, my last project is my exploration station. Right, I might be a bit tangly. My cable isn't long enough to show you properly, but I've gone quite far. Where's the right side? Okay, so this is where we're at. Oh, I'm gonna drop my bag. How much can you see that? Right, hang on. It's a bit awkward. Do it this way. Right. So I don't know where I was last time you seen me, actually. I think I was around, I think I was around here maybe. So I've done, I've finished all these bits, and I've done the brioche. So the brioche is pink and green. It's my second time doing brioche, and I actually did it while drinking on a Friday night. So I did make a mistake the first go, because I knitted, it was like relatively dark. I knitted across in green. Hang on, I knitted across in green, and then I went back and got the pink and knitted across again. But then when I turned to go back the other way, I used pink first and then green, because I couldn't tell the difference in the dark. And then I knitted a couple more rows, and then I looked at it and I was like, that's not right. So then I was like, what have I done wrong? So then I pulled it out, and then when I pulled it out, I realised what I'd done. So then I put the light on and I was able to do it. There is a couple of mistakes. There's a mistake there in the pink, and there's a bit like a loosey-goosey bit, because I tried to drop down and fix there. I tried to drop down and fix it somehow, and oh, I don't know. Are you drinking my tea? No. I don't know brioche very well. I don't know how to fix it or anything. I kind of just, I've only ever done it through Stephen West's shawls. The only time I've ever done it before was Shawlography. I did it in that. That was the first ever time I did it, and I thought it was brill. I loved it. But then, and I was like, well, I'll obviously definitely do it in Exploration Station, and I do enjoy doing it. But it's not something that I wouldn't want a full jumper in it or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? It's not something that I would want to go massively into. I like it as a bit of an accent thing, and it's something I can pick up and do now and then, but it's not something that I would be like obsessed with, if that makes sense. But it looks cool. And then now I'm on like some slip stitch malarkey going on. You probably can't really see that one very much, but so far I love it. Third time is definitely the charm with this one. I'm getting attacked. What do you want? Get off me hair. Yeah, I went through 2 other colour changes before this one, and then this was the final, helped by my Discord gang, and they helped me choose, and honestly, just, it's beautiful. I love it. I'm so happy with it. So yeah, I think that's why it's grown quite a lot, because I'm just like, I just want to work on it. It is getting quite long now though, and the rows take a while, and that's making me go a bit more because I'm like that. I don't know why I knit sometimes. I'm gonna lose me yarn. So for those who don't know, I'm using Cookston Crafts. It was once a top that I pulled out. So it is, my colour is this one, which is oh, to die for. It's Claire Fraiser from Cookston Crafts. Claire Fraiser is an Outlander reference. My colour B is Pigment and Ply. It's this beautiful green, which is named after a dragon in The Witcher. Oh, I cannot remember its name. Colour C is Cookston Crafts again. I have more. It's just because it was a top, so I've got it in scraps. This is Rubus. And then colour D is also Cookston Crafts, and this is Brianas gown, which is another Outlander reference. Absolutely bloomin' lush. Love them all. So I can't wait to see that. I am knitting this on my Mindful needles by Knit Pro. The ones that swivel. Right, I love that they swivel. Amazing. But mine will not stop coming undone. They're driving me batty. I've tightened them. I don't know how many times I've tightened them by hand. I've tightened them by the doofer. They just keep coming undone, and they're doing my head in. They're doing my head in. It's making me not want any more of them. Yeah. So that is it for the project. I'm gonna have another drink. Are you sleeping there? Is that where you're kipping? You could kip on my knee, be more comfy. You climbed on my knee while I was drinking the coffee. I feel like I've flown through them. I feel like I've done really fast. Anyway, acquisitions. Let's do some of them. Acquisitions, then we'll do live stuff, because there's been some stuff. So my first acquisition was actually a prize that I won off Instagram. It was a giveaway on Instagram. Oh, badly, I can't remember the name. Lunar Lane Yarn. Right. So this is from Lunar Lane Yarn. I apologise because it's got cat hair on, but I think a cat's been sat on it. And I have 3, so it's difficult. Anyway, Lunar Lane, that's hard to say. Lunar Lane Yarn. I won a giveaway, so I got this project bag, which isn't as big as it looks from there. It's about the size of my head. It's just got lots of letters on there. It doesn't actually say anything unless I'm missing things and it's calling me an idiot or something. But I don't think so. It's got a lovely little carry handle. It's bright pink inside. And it's cute. And then I got this yarn with the bag. And this is Merino fine 70%, cashmere 20%, and nylon 10%, 4-ply, 100 grams, 425 meters, and it's the Welly Boots colourway. So it starts like a blue, and it's like a muddy green, I suppose. Yeah. And that's their logo. It's very soft, it's lovely. It's very, very soft. So I won those, which was amazing. I haven't won anything for ages, so that was nice. It's nice to win things. And then I have acquisitions that I've been buying because I've been a bit naughty. I had to get some of these from Dexter Loves Annie. The lovely cat was selling balloon dog stitch markers, and I couldn't resist. So I got myself 2 of them. I got the turquoise and the pink because they're just amazing. They are relatively big. If you like a small stitch marker, they're not for you. They are a doozer, but I just love them. I love them. Even if I hang them off a bag, if they're a bit too big for me, you know, you're not going to use them for sock knitting. But I just, oh my god, I just love them. Look at them. The balloon dogs. Like, what's not to love? And she put them on a no she didn't. She put them on a, one of them, lever back clasp for me. And the labels and everything, she just, like, I just love them. So I got those from Dexter Loves Annie. Thank you very much, Kat. I love Chapel View Crafts. I love. If you haven't heard of her, she actually makes stuff for dolls' houses. So she makes like the she makes the kitchen bit. I can't think what they're called. But she basically makes like fake food and stuff for dolls' houses. You can go to her website and buy stuff for dolls' houses, but she also turns them into stitch markers as well. And I just love them. I have a piece of Battenberg and a cup of tea from her that I've had for a long time. And I was sitting the other day and I was like, she was putting up some French fancies and stuff, and I was like, oh, I love her stuff. So I went on her website and you could get a blind bag of seconds. And I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to do that because it was like relatively cheap. And you just got this blind bag. You didn't know what you were going to get. And I was blown away when it turned up. Like, they are seconds and you can see that they're very slightly seconds, but like it's marginal. Do you know what I mean? So I got, hang on, because I got a few. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things. It cost me £11, which is really not a lot. So I got this little gnome dude, a gonk. He's on a lobster clasp. I thought I'd asked for lever back clasp, and I don't think I did. I think I might have typed lobster clasp because I do that all the time. I'm stupid. So I got this little gonk. I think his mistake, he's got a little delve in the back of his head, but I can't see anything else wrong with him. He's beautiful. His name's Derek. I don't know why, he just is. I got Millionaire Shortbread, is my favourite thing in the entire planet. And she sent me a slice of Millionaire Shortbread. She doesn't know it's my favourite thing in the entire planet. She's just magically gifted to I don't know, whatever, Millionaire Shortbread. I got a French Fancy. Someone's obviously nibbled it on the way here though, but I don't mind. Is that focusing? I hope it is. They're a little bit hard to show you. I got a lemon, which I can see why this is a second because it's not perfectly cylindrical. Spherical, no, cylindrical. But I don't care. Not all lemons are cylindrical. I got a Jammy Dodger, don't know why it's a second. And finally I got a slice of cake. I don't know what the cake's called. It's like a Battenberg, but Battenberg doesn't come like this shape, does it? Are you focused? Focus on my hand. But yeah, slice cake. I absolutely love them. I was so impressed. This is her card. If you want to go and have a look. She does like the box frames and everything. Just honestly, so unbelievably talented. She's put stitch markers, needle minders, miniatures and gifts. Like, amazing. Finally, I went shopping when I shouldn't have been. And I went to Dye and Knit by Kate, which I've been before. I love Dye and Knit by Kate's yarn. She has some beautiful colours. And I got this. They're 50-gram skeins. Absolutely beautiful. This is Mermaid Kingdom. And with all Dye and Knit by Kate stuff, you get this. You get a matching stitch marker. So yeah, this is sock yarn as well. I'll give you show you the label. So yeah, absolutely stunning. Mermaid, what did I say? Mermaid's Kiss. Mermaid Kingdom. There we go. So that is everything I've been buying and receiving over the last couple of weeks. So I have some live stuff to let you know as well. So live stuff. The last time I was recording on a Friday, and on the afternoon I was taking Terry to do a bike test. So as you regular viewers will know, who stick around for live stuff, Terry has been riding a motorbike, but his bike got stolen after it broke down. It hasn't been recovered or anything. It would have been stripped down and sold as parts now because it was broken anyway. Since then, he's decided that in the UK you have to do, I don't know if I've explained this before already, but in the UK you have to do like a small bike license if you haven't got a driving license to drive a car. You have to do a small bike license to drive a small motorbike, a 125cc motorbike. You do that license and you have to do that every 2 years to be able to drive it on the road with a L plate on it, like a learner plate. And that's what Terry had. But he's always wanted to do the big bike license. I was going to say big boy license because that's what I call it. To him, I say it's your big boy license. The bigger bike license, which is like for all the much more powerful motorbikes, you have to do that, and then that one you have forever. You don't have to do it again, and you don't have to have an L plate on either. So he's been wanting to do that for a long time, and so he's decided, since this one's been pinched, he said, what's the point, because he's been planning on doing the big boy license. I'm just going to call it that because that's what I call it. He's been planning on doing it anyway, and so he said, what's the point in buying another smaller bike and then going to do the big boy license and then having to sell the smaller bike and get a big bike? What's the point? Why don't I just get a big bike and do the license? So we're like, yeah, makes perfect sense. So he was last Friday when I was, not last Friday, the Friday before, when I was filming the last podcast, that afternoon I was taking him to do the written version of that license. So you have to do like a theory test so that you prove that you know the rules of the road. So in our local area, the closest place to do that theory test is a 45-minute drive away, and that's a lot for Terry to do. Like, that's difficult. It was like hard. He was really like not well. His anxiety was really bad, but he was like, I'm going to do a good thing. I need to do this. Like, and he was building himself up, and he managed to get in the car and get there. It was like a difficult journey for him. We got there. I was quite stressed. They've moved buildings and they've now got it on the main road in this very busy town, which is where I'm originally from. It's a very busy city-like town. And the building's on like the main road where you are not allowed to stop. The cars cannot stop there. And I was like, So, like, why is it here? It used to be in a big building with a car park outside, and that's where I was thinking I was going, and instead they've moved it. So I had to drive past, and then I found a side street, and I went up the side street, and then I was like, I need to find, like, you can't park on the side streets, it's all residents only. So I was like, I need to find a car park. So then, and we had plenty of time, so we went, the sat-nav directed me to a car park, and when I got to it, it was private parking only. Why the sat-nav sent me there, I have no idea. So time was getting on then, so he was like, I'm going to have to go and walk back around. So I was like, right, you do that, and I'll drive and find a car park. And he changed his sat-nav to walking to get him back to where we were running around the corner. The minute he got out of the car, he said, I forgot my driving licence. And I was like, no, you need your driving licence. And he said, I've got a picture of it on my phone. I'll go and see. So at this point, we're both really stressed because he'd had to travel there, and then I couldn't stop the car anywhere. So he got out and he went off, and then I put in the sat-nav again for a car park, and I set off again. And the sat-nav was acting really strangely, and I didn't know what was going on. Turned out that for some reason it had also changed to walking, so it was sending me down all these streets that I wasn't supposed to go down in a car, and it kept sending me to student only parking. I was having a nightmare. So I was driving round and round and round this like very busy town centre. In the meanwhile, Terry had gone to the building, he'd sat and waited, and then when they'd seen him, he'd said, look, I haven't got my licence, but I've got a picture on my phone. And the man just shook his head and he said, I'm really sorry. He said, I have to scan your licence in this machine that's under my desk. He said, I can't take the photo. He said, I have to have the physical licence in my hand. So then Terry rang me, and I was still driving. Still driving around, he rang me and he said, I can't do it. You're going to have to come and get me. So the whole thing, like, obviously it took us 45 minutes to get there. But then from getting there to me getting him back in the car was about 30 minutes of just me being stressed, driving round and round and round in a really busy area, and him getting upset by this, like, refusal of being able to take his test. So I managed to pick him up from this road. I just stopped and people were beeping at me, and he just jumped in and I drove off. Like, absolute nightmare. And drove him straight to a pub around the corner from where I used to live when I was a teenager, which luckily was still there. And we just sat, he had a pint in there, and I had a really horrible glass of Coke. I don't know what they did with their Coke, but it was gross. And then, yeah, we just sat there and tried to rebook his test. They don't let you book it the same day. He had to wait until the next day, which is ridiculous. But we were like looking, we picked a different area. It's a slightly longer drive. It's like very slightly longer. It's like 47 minutes instead of 45. But it's on an industrial estate with a big parking space outside, so that takes that stress out for both of us. But disaster. So now he's got to wait until the end of July to go and do it again. In the meantime, I'd rang my parents and asked if he'd seen a bike that he really wanted, and I had rang my parents and asked if they would front the insurance money, because we knew we were going to get insurance money, but this bike was going to be sold and he wanted to try and get it because it was a bargain. So they agreed. They said they would front the insurance money. They took him to go and see the bike, and they actually bought it for him. They said they didn't want the insurance money, that we could have that, and because they could see how much it was helping him to have this bike, and how much it was just making him get out and about and do things. So they just wanted to do that for him. So they ended up buying him this bike. So we now have a much more powerful motorbike sitting in the back garden, chained up, covered up, like waiting. It's literally just waiting. So yesterday was our first sunny day in 2.5, 3 weeks. I think we've had of rain. This summer is... yeah, we had a really sunny day and he was sitting in the house and he was like, I just want to ride my bike, but he's not allowed because he hasn't got a licence for it. So it's a good idea what he's done, like not jumping in, just getting another one that he can potter around on, because he's going to be going out and riding once he does the licence. So he'll get to ride, but it's just that he's got to wait until he does the written bit first. So he's got to wait until the end of this month. It's not long now, we're nearly there. Get the theory test done, and then in August he'll be putting around driving. Hopefully it's a bit more sunny. We're supposed to have a sunny day today, but it looks grey. Very grey. But, you know, we all know how I feel about the weather. So yeah, things are progressing, and my parents have been amazing, but it's just not at the speed that he wanted. What are you going to do? We were both kind of stressed leaving the house and everything. So like he's just not picked up his licence. So at least we know that this time around it'll be like, have you got your licence? Have you got everything you need? Yes. So yeah, mistakes were made. Never mind. What else? Thank you for all the well wishes that I received from being poorly. I am on the mend. I am taking, people were recommending different things to me. I am taking a cranberry tablet every day. I started that like just before I put the video out, I think. Someone had said it to me in my Discord and I got some. So I've been taking the cranberry tablets every day. But it is actually a menopause issue rather than like an infection issue. I thought I had an infection. I've been on 2 sets of antibiotics and it's actually been a menopause treatment that they've given me that's fixed the issue, or it's fixing the issue. It's not 100% yet, but it's very, very nearly there. So that's a relief, because that's been for a couple of weeks now and that's not been nice. So all better there. Rowan is better. He was better the next day. He just had a bad cough and it had made him like vomit because he'd coughed so much, and then you're not allowed to go to school because he's young. If he goes into school and goes, oh, I threw up last night, the teachers will be like, what, why are you in school? So there's no point, so I just keep him off, even though it's not like a stomach infection or anything. What else have I got to tell you? Nothing, I don't think. Oh, yes I do. I have an Etsy shop update, and I meant to show you them and I haven't got them with me. Okay, Etsy shop. I have not been working hard on my Etsy shop over the last few months, and I've decided that that's a stupid thing to do and I need to sort my life out. So I'm doing an Etsy shop update. When this comes out, it's tomorrow, the shop update. So when this comes out, it will have already updated. I have some new stitch markers going in, seed bead stitch markers, and others if I can get them done in time. So the seed bead ones, there's elephants, which I haven't got to show you. Elephants going in, there is pelicans going in. I also have these little cats going in. Right, how can I show you this? So there's a little light grey one, dark grey one, tabby orange, the lighter version of that one, and then there's a little black one too. So they're going to be available. if I can get them done, there's also going to be chickens. If they're not done, they'll be done soon. I also have some new things. So I have these little Notion pouches. Now I don't have many because it's kind of like a trial thing. If they sell well, I'll get more. But they come in, so this is one that's available. It's got little bunnies on the bag. And they're a zip bag, and inside is loads of goodies. So you get a tape measure that is inches and centimetres. You get a stitch holder. Can you see that? Stitch holder. You get a yarn needle. You get stitch fixers. You get a cable needle. I'm trying to show them so you can see. Cable needle, one of them swirly ones. You get 10 bulb stitch markers. Is it going to focus on them? Oh, you know what bulb stitch markers are. And you get a pair of scissors that fold away so that you don't stab yourself when they're in your bag. Ow. Stab myself. Yeah, don't put your finger through the hole when you're closing it. Yeah, you get all of those goodies in there. So they're my little Notion bags. They're out now in the shop as well. I don't have many. I'll show you them. I have the pink one. I have one with cat faces on. I have an autumnal one. And I have a wildflower one. And yeah, they're all just little zip bags. They've all got the same stuff inside, just different colours. I've tried to do the colours to match. So like the cat one has blue scissors, this one has green scissors. I think this one has red scissors, which wasn't exactly matching, but you know, I did my best for what I had. So yeah, I have one of my own. Oh, because I used it to test it out. There is a tin in there, but I used it to test it out to make sure that there was everything in that I need. I just happened to have chucked my tin of stitch markers in there, but I've got everything in there that I've just showed you. It's just got extra stitch markers in, but that's it. So yes, that's the shop update. That's on my Etsy. Link is in the description below if you're interested in any of that. There's also some wrist yarn holders, you know, so you can knit as you walk. Little wooden ones. They've gone in the shop as well. I think that's it. Yeah. And then obviously patterns coming out, and it's all go, go, go at the minute. So on that note, I'm gonna go, go, go. Thank you so much for watching. If I've forgotten anything, I'll drop it in the description, but I'm just really, really, really dizzy today. I don't know what's going on. I do. But we're not going to go there again. We go there every fortnight, don't we? Yeah. Right. It's been lovely to have you with me. I will see you in a couple of weeks. I have no idea what next week's video is going to be. I am actually thinking of doing a how to knit series just to help more people. I want to do more tutorials and do like a bit more complicated tutorials, but I want to start at the very beginning for the people who need to build up to that. So I'm thinking of doing that. So I know like it's not going to interest a lot of you guys who already watch because most of you can knit, but I need like just like a baseline of how to actually knit, and I'm going to do more free patterns and stuff too. But I'm just I don't know what next week's is going to be, unless I can pull a free pattern out my bum. We'll see. Right, I'm going. We'll see you very, very soon. Have a lovely rest of your day. See you soon. Bye.